All right, y'all, what's going on today? How y'all doing on a Saturday, June 19th? It is Juneteenth. We appreciate y'all joining us today. As y'all know, I am Steve here at the Friendly Compounds of Team Johnson, and I have a plethora of guys here who want to talk some sports today. I'm going to go around the room. Y'all can just introduce yourselves. Y'all got code names. You can do that too. But we'll start right here. And the young gentleman right here on the left. Well, y'all. Go ahead.
Mike.
Joe.
Antonio.
George.
All right, and y'all, that way it sounds like Mickey Mouse. We're doing the roll call. This is Steve. Gonna get this thing up real quick. Atlanta Hawks first, real quick. 3-3 now, y'all. Atlanta Hawks had an opportunity to clinch a series yesterday against the Philadelphia 76ers. I thought we'd come home and have a little bit of momentum on our side after the comeback.
My thoughts on the game is they came out like that on fire. They haven't done that since game one. It almost seems as if they're more comfortable playing from behind or playing as if they have to, I guess, catch up or whatever the case may be. But they seem to be, I guess, yeah, exactly. They need to be more consistent. They should play but they didn't do that because the fourth quarter came along. They just kind of just gave up almost, it seemed like. So,
what do you think, Devon? What do you think of Philadelphia and their game plan to kind of let Trey have here, shut down the rest of the team as far as their offense was concerned?
I don't think that's particularly their game plan. I just think that the Hawks role players have not stepped up since the series started. It's been the trade show majority of the year. The role players just need to step up, especially in the fourth quarter and crunch. They're folding under pressure, and then it's just get the ball to Trey and ice up what Trey can do. And at that point, they send a double team every time. He has no choice but to get the ball up.
Joe, I'm thinking about what we need to do in Game 7. I know Philadelphia has a home field. This erased a historic. This no one will think about this Hawks comeback if Philadelphia wins this game. They did not do last night in order to clinch this Game 7.
Well, I think they have to continue to penetrate, not just settle for the three. You know, a lot of times when they have the momentum, they kill themselves because they just start jacking up shots from everywhere. So they just work on penetrating, trying to get some of those long guys for Philadelphia in foul trouble because, you know, Embiid, he's just going to stand back. He's not going to even make an effort to try to block the shot list. He knows he has a clear opportunity because most of his blocks come after Trey has committed to jumping in the air. And when he lets the ball go, that's when he swats it or whatever. But if they go in, put the body on him, they'll get the calls, I hope.
Man, who wins this game tomorrow? Atlanta, Philadelphia, Game 7. Everything's online. Who we got?
Atlanta wins.
that was pretty much to the point.
I will say we need to keep it gritty and get down with him. Just like this, don't need to jack up a three every time. Use your team. I mean, pass the ball. You know, just stay alert. You know.
Are you getting tired of the logo 3? The logo 3 shot that he takes all the time.
Oh man, if he can sink it, I'll never get tired. Man, you get hot, man. I would say you get a hot hand, and them things are sinking for you. You know, just
Live by the three, die by the three.
Right, that's what I think.
Live by three, die
They're
by
not
three.
smart enough to take the ball inside and keep shooting the three.
right. Yeah, if you know
If
you're
it's
not
going
hot,
in,
you're not
you
feeling
can do
confident.
that. But if it's not, you need to take the ball inside and possibly get a layup and a foul.
So the question for me is, who else is gonna step up?
The rest of the team, they need to step up. If they want to watch the rest of the NBA playoffs at home with clean jerseys, choke like they've been choking. If they want to win, step up. If they double team Trey, he's going to flick the ball to somebody. Whoever gets the ball, they got to score, pass it, score. They need to score. If Philly scores, Atlanta needs to score. They need to keep themselves close so in the end, Atlanta can take advantage of the opportunity. They got to stay close.
This game can't be the Trae Young shot.
No,
It's gotta be.
It's got to be 5 plays.
It can be the
Yeah,
Trey
guys
Young
will
show,
score.
but he can be the facilitator. He doesn't have to. He don't have to stop what he's doing.
Right.
He can.
We don't. Nobody wants to.
Yeah, he can. If he know what he's doing, but get everybody else in the game too. Probably
Right. When he kick that ball out to somebody else, they
Exactly.
need to
Exactly.
score.
You know, like
They need to score.
Exactly.
Bottom line, back him up because he's going to be double teamed.
Exactly.
Score.
And if it beats at the 3-point line, give it to him.
Right.
Give it to
Don't
him.
foul him, give it to him.
Let him shoot three all day.
Remember, Embiid's still hurt. So if he juked too fast on one the right position, he's going down anyway.
Yeah.
We had another series clinching game yesterday. The LA Clippers took out Utah in Game 6. A little bit of surprise to me, especially that Kawhi Leonard is out of the game. Mike, are the Clippers going to get to stop a team that not only is well rested, but like they are the highest in the NBA? I think Chris Paul he would have been yeah.
You don't have that constant movement, which makes teams stagnated. When jump shooters miss, the team gets stagnated because everybody's watching. Everybody's just waiting and seeing if it goes in, goes in. If not, they go back down on defense. And so if you're keep it cold, I don't care who it is. So it's when Paul George is cold and Kawhi is cold, you've already seen what happened to the Clippers. Because when your shooters are cold, that's one thing that Phoenix doesn't have, is they have that pick and roll game. You know, they got the young cat. I can't remember his name. Yeah, they got that pick and roll game, and then you got both Chris Paul and Devin Booker. They're the master of the mid range.
I think here's the thing I'm gonna say about that though. Phoenix is a free shooting team. Phoenix hadn't really stopped anybody this playoffs, and I think the difference with this is the Clippers, even though they're a step slower than last year, the Clippers are still a pretty good defensive team. And I know Booker is hot. I know even Chris Paul is hot. And what's my other boy coming off the bench? The other guard that's been showing up. Payne. It's Payne. Payne. He's been hot. Up against a team that's known for their defense, do you think there's a possibility that LA could slow this game down enough for the Clippers to stave off until Kawhi possibly could come back?
But see, that's one thing about the Clippers. Everybody say they go defense, but people been giving them buckets though. Mitchell been giving them buckets. Luka gave them buckets. Booker's gonna give them buckets. He's going to give them buckets.
Here's my only argument about that. They've given buckets early, but when crunch time was here, they shut down Luka. When crunch time was here, they shut down Donovan. They shut them down enough to win 4-2. You can't be 4-2 and say you didn't shut them down a little bit.
But that's the difference. If you shut down Luka, there's nobody else. If you shut down,
so Hardaway's not a factor. Hardaway is not a factor.
He wasn't. Chris Paul is a veteran. He is a veteran. If you shut down Booker, Chris Paul is the leader of the team. He's the one that's going to facilitate. So if Booker gets shut down, Paul's going to take the ball and make the correct choices. With Dallas, you had nobody who, if you take care of or just give Luka his points, there's no other person on Dallas that can say, I can facilitate, I'll take over.
Sure.
It's the same thing with Utah. There's no other person to say, you know what, I can take over. If you're going to concentrate on him, I can take over and facilitate and run the offense.
And that could be one of the reasons why Carlisle stepped down. I think Luka, it was already reported that Luka wasn't happy with the situation going on in Dallas with Don Nelson being taken off of his president's job and Rick Carlisle resigning. I think that was more of a player cause thing. In the East, Brooklyn Bucks, Game 7. Who we got? Hand by hand. Show of hands. Show of hands. Who has Brooklyn?
I'll tell you
They should.
Now, the problem is with each of these games, there's an asterisk. So Rod, with Brooklyn, you got 100% KD, which is usually good enough. You got a Harden who's kind of hurt, and you got Kyrie, who we still haven't seen the last couple of games. With that being said, do you think Brooklyn still with KD is enough to beat the Bucks?
Sure, that's all I need. Those three you just named.
Oh, wow.
That's enough.
He's in his element right now.
That's enough.
KD being the man, I think is kind of something that he relishes. I think he relishes the fact that he's.
This is his moment.
This is absolutely.
And help me with this, Steve. Who got home court advantage?
Brooklyn.
They're playing in Brooklyn.
Yeah,
I'm Brooklyn.
I'll
I'll
take
take
Brooklyn
Brooklyn.
defense.
Yeah, I'll take Brooklyn.
So does anybody have the Bucks? Now tell me why you think the Bucks.
Brooklyn don't play any defense. They haven't played defense all year. They've been outscoring people with their three-headed monster, which is down to one now. You got a limping Harden, and you have KD. KD could give you 35, 40 points. That's fine. But you have nobody to stop Giannis. Chris Middleton is still a perennial all-star. Let's not forget that he is an all-star. And they have a supporting cast. And the Bucks have been playing great defense all year.
So you think that they're going to overcome all that and win?
I do. We watched the last game, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But one thing I don't like about the Bucks is that their coach, which was former Hawks coach, he doesn't make adjustments. And that year that the Hawks won 60 games,
right, and
we went to the playoffs, and we were scheduled to supposed to be the representatives for the Eastern Conference. But what happened?
You get swept.
We got swept. Coach didn't make any adjustments. So, and that's the same thing that's happened with Milwaukee the last 2-3 years. Yeah, they hyped to be the representative or whatever, but the coach don't make adjustments during the game, and it's just give the ball to Giannis, and if he makes it, then yeah, we're gonna win. But if he off, that's it.
So judging by from what I hear in this room, it sounds like people are predicting a Phoenix-Brooklyn final, from what it sounds like.
That could
Is that pretty much in line? That's what-
It's gonna be a Hawks
Phoenix.
Hawks gotta get past game 7. I think the Hawks are gonna show some fight tomorrow and do what they do. I'm gonna switch gears a little bit. If you all notice, we are in the home of a true Atlanta Falcon fan. I would be remiss if I didn't go back and catch some opinions about what I think is franchise-wise probably the biggest trade in Atlanta Falcons history, keeping in mind that Dion was a free agent. He did not get traded to San Francisco. So the biggest trade, Julio Jones going to Tennessee Titans for a second rounder and fourth rounder. For those who keep talking about the first round thing, this was all about money. It had nothing to do with draft. So I'm going to go around the room because I'm pretty sure everybody has an opinion on that. Young man in the middle back there, Brother George, what do you think about Julio Jones leaving the Atlanta Falcons?
I think it's a good move for him. He didn't do nothing last year that much. Of course, he was hurt. But I think it's a good move, super move for him.
What about for the Falcons? Do you think we benefit at all?
No.
Okay.
What do we do?
All right. So Rod,
I would say the story is yet to be told on whether the Falcons benefit from it. You got 2 top round picks, right? You got a second round or a fourth round, right? So, but that's not going to happen until sometime down the road. It's a matter of what you get for that. Okay, but immediately what the Falcons got, from my understanding, is $15 million off the cap, right?
Right.
So that gives you an opportunity to do some other things, show up some other places. And then of course they got the kid out of Florida, the tight end.
Yes,
So I'm wondering whether they're going to use him as a tight end or as a receiver, but the tight end or something. But
6'6", you could call yourself what you want.
You do it. as long as you can do the crossing route,
Exactly.
and secure the catch, you know. So I'm thinking the Falcons got as best as they could out of the situation. That's my take on it.
Maynard, I've been hearing a lot of loyal Atlanta Falcon fans almost switching loyalties because of what happened. Do you look at this as a ownership failure, or do you look at this as Julio kind of pulling the strings? In your opinion, what do you think, just outside the box, not knowing?
Well, honestly, I don't know the details, like
right.
what you're referring to. But I can just speak on just the fact that I'm just a loyal Falcons fan.
Right.
Just being born right Southwest Atlanta. You know, so I'm just a loyal fan. Honestly, I'm a little sad for losing Julio.
Yeah.
You know, he was magic on the field, and you know, camaraderie and the synergy that between the teammates, between him and his teammates, you know, is just something special and something, you know, fun to see.
Yeah.
And but you know, I'm hopeful that we can have, you know, make something positive come out of it. And yeah, I guess I could be happy for Julio.
This guy right here, hold that up for me if you want. This guy right here is looked at as the future of Atlanta. Was he worth getting rid of Julio Jones? And I know one might not correspond with the other or be in correlation with each other, but do you think he can fill Julio's shoes? I guess that's all.
I don't think so. I mean, I would like to see him. Yeah. I mean, yeah, why would he want to? I don't think he can. I mean, he's a solid player, but I mean, Yeah, there aren't many Julios that
Right, he's yet to prove it.
have ever come into the league. So it's sad to see him go.
Right.
I think the relationship had run its course between him and Matt Ryan and management, but
Willis, I know we've heard behind the scenes and stuff like that about Julio was upset and things like that. Again, from the outside looking in, nobody's suggesting they know anything inside. But when you think about what Julio was asking money in 2018, they gave it to him. He asked for money in 19. They redid his contract. And then 1 year later, almost, you're saying you're not satisfied. Not to say money is everything, but how does that make you feel as a fan from the outside just to say, man, it seems like they bent over backwards to accommodate you, and now you're saying you're not happy?
Well, I mean, for me, I'm always pro player, regardless, because they're gonna get rid of you when they serve their purpose. They're gonna get rid of you regardless. So if you can get your money, I'm not gonna never say tell the brother not to get his money. So if he got it, good. I'm not 100% sold on Julio, as most people. I think he's been hurt last couple of years. He's missed some touchdown passes last couple of years. So I don't think he is what he once was. And then you got the young guy coming in who they hope will be. We don't know. But we'll see. But Matt Ryan, we still gotta have somebody give him the ball, so we don't know if that's gonna happen yet. So, it could all be not.
We're about to talk about Matt Ryan on the next question. Joe, Julio Jones, Atlanta legend, or what is his legacy going to be as far as Atlanta? Is he the best athlete to ever put on an Atlanta Falcons uniform?
no.
Hey, y'all tune in. I said y'all can chime in with it.
I got 2 words for you.
Dude,
William
Andrews. Now, I don't lie to you. That's my favorite player. That's my favorite player of all time.
Yeah, Andrews was the truth.
Yeah.
He and Lynn Kane came in at the
Yes.
same time.
Yep.
With that whole little group with the linebackers and all that. But probably Dion is probably the best pure athlete.
Overall athlete.
Overall well-rounded.
Yeah.
But Julio brought in that ruggedness, that finesse as well. He was
Reminds you of a Lynn Swan.
Man was a little bit more finesse.
He's
Yeah,
finesse.
he was a little bit
more
finesse.
smooth. Okay.
He looked
But he had that.
He was stalwart. He could be stalwart.
Stalwart,
He was more
yeah.
stalwart. He
Yeah.
was more stalwart.
Yeah, that's fine.
Stalwart and a little bit of rice.
Yeah.
He had the quickness of, or the speed of, what was that guy's name? I can't think of it now. The one that played with San Diego, West Chandler.
West Chandler was, man. Went to the
So
war.
what you're saying is Julio glamorized the position of wide receiver for the Atlanta Falcons.
No,
No,
Julio's the best receiver to play for the Falcons. Hands down.
Well,
I would give him that.
He would like
Overall athlete,
on that position.
not the best.
He put a highlight on
Best
that
receiver, the stats prove that.
I think
Can't take that from him.
I think there was a misuse of it in terms of the quarterback getting the ball to him. You can't just toss it up all the time and think he's gonna jump up and get it. Throw the ball to the man so he can catch it. Most of the time when Julio was going across the middle, he had to reach back for the ball because the ball was behind him.
Down the
So,
field.
if he threw a bomb, he had to wait on it he had to wait to catch the ball. So, there was a lot of dynamics that were playing into it that he really could have been further ahead, probably right behind Jerry Rice right now in terms of the amount of catches and the yards, because he missed a lot of
Jerry Rice. Maybe a little further down.
Chris Carter.
I tried my best. I tried my best to get through that Julio thing without talking about the next most polarizing person in Atlanta Falcons history, and that's Mr. Matt Ryan. So what I'm gonna ask about this on draft night, I was somebody who, as a longtime Falcon fan, and the reason I handed it to you, Tony, because I know you're deep Atlanta as well. Matt Ryan has been here for 13 years. And notwithstanding 2016's MVP season, we've seen, as Brother Willis was talking about earlier with Julio, a decline in what he's been able to accomplish. Did you think it was the right move to restructure Matt Ryan and not draft a quarterback? Or if you were the GM, would you have drafted a quarterback? And not a third, fourth string quarterback. I'm talking about a quarterback.
If I was the GM, I would have drafted a quarterback. Because what the Falcons are doing right now, they are banking on, Matt Ryan has 1 to 2 more years left of great gameplay. Yeah, Matt Ryan's he's a good quarterback. I give him good. His stats have proven that. But with those stats he has, nothing has come from it. Let alone, I guess, set aside from the MVP season, what happened? I'm like this. I am a what have you done for me now type of person. That great MVP good for you. I'm proud of you. But what about now? What about today?
That big dance.
Like exactly. After that, we were like, well, most fans, I guess, not myself, but some fans, as well as ownership, we'll be back next year. Next year, what we do? I think we went 10-6 the next year.
It's a decline every year.
Yeah, 79, 4-12. All with that guy. And for the most part, the same people that was around him, for the most part. But I mean, what now? That 4 years of consecutive losing, that should have proved something to the ownership. Like, don't get me wrong, Matt Ryan, he had his. We thank you for what you did. Now it's time to move on. Because you had some studs. I mean, studs at quarterbacks that was available that you could have took with the 4th pick. Hopefully that 4th pick gives us something, but.
Speaking of quarterbacks we had an opportunity to get, we lost an opportunity to get I was thinking 2 quarterbacks for this franchise, Trey Lance or Justin Fields. Unfortunately, Justin Fields went to Chicago. So speaking of that, Chi-Town, what do you think the Falcons should have done in that position? I know you're happy you received a young quarterback because you guys need a quarterback probably worse than we did.
Yes.
But how do you feel about Atlanta passing up on Justin Fields?
If I'd been the owner, I would have talked to the general manager. I would have went for a quarterback because Matt Ryan could have mentored the quarterback under him to use his last couple of years, good years left in the league. I would have got a quarterback. That would have been me. That's the future. You got to look at it like this. Football is a business. That's where you got to look at it. You want to win. Everybody gets into this business, wants that Super Bowl trophy in their case because they can do other things because you won that Super Bowl trophy. Merchandise can go up, this and that. You can do all sorts, build a new stadium, which they already got. All that kind of stuff. You can do all that. I would have went for the quarterback because I think that's the future of any team. You build that, the leader. You start with your leadership. And that's what they should have went. The Pitts guy, he has yet to prove himself. On paper, from college, looks good, looks great. But he hasn't caught a ball in the NFL yet to where it counts. I wish him well. Just like Justin Fields, I wish him well too. We need to keep him for let him come in about the 8th game, let him get his reps in, get his confidence up, learn the NFL game under the mentorship even of Dalton and the other guy, Foles. Let him learn as much as he can. Hopefully, once he gets the leadership role, he can catch on and stay healthy, and we can keep winning. Do better than 8-8 season like we did last year.
I'm gonna give y'all 2-14. I'm sorry, 2-15.
We're the Bears. We're not the Falcons. We're the Bears.
So I have 2 things to say about this non-selection of Justin Fields. Okay. I think it was a bad decision. But admittedly, I'm a Justin Fields fan. I like the kid. We know family. From Kennesaw, Georgia. And before he got to Kennesaw, he grew up in Southwest Atlanta and played Little League football and those kinds of. You're talking about merchandising. you select Justin Fields.
Yeah.
That kid lights this city on fire.
Right.
Okay,
But yeah.
you couldn't print enough Justin Fields stuff. You couldn't make enough jerseys for that kid if he comes to Atlanta. Okay,
Well, Chicago's gonna do that.
and that's what's
Yeah,
happening in
that's
Chicago
Chicago
right now.
Atlanta.
They're gonna do it.
And that's what's happening in Chicago right now. There's a certain level of excitement
Yes,
around
yes.
the city of Chicago.
Yes.
All because they chose a kid named Justin Fields who went to Ohio State for
Yeah.
basically 2 years.
Yeah.
And so he's already got that name notoriety.
All of
there.
that. Everything you
And
said.
Chicago's excited about it.
The difference,
I just hope we win with it.
the difference where he's going, Chicago is blue blood. And as much as y'all losing, Chicago has a fan base that you're gonna see people in Chicago no matter what.
Yeah.
As a season ticket holder for the last few years, it's embarrassing to see the number of red seats in there.
Oh, yeah.
You sign Justin Fields, I don't care if you're 4-13, that's 17 games now.
Yeah.
If you're 4-13, you're going to get a home environment that's going to come and support the hometown kid
Right.
in here. So you winning in every position. Business, attendance, and not only that, there are some people who are still loyalists to him from Georgia's days. That's a base we've never been able to get in the Atlanta Falcons. Any kind of Georgia Bulldog loyalty. He checked all the boxes.
And when you ask people or when you listen to people who are not diehard Atlanta Falcons fans, the question is, why didn't they choose the homeboy? Why didn't they choose the local guy? The guy who grew up in Metro Atlanta, essentially, went to Georgia for a year, and then didn't get his opportunity there. He goes to Chicago. He goes to Ohio State first, gets his opportunity to see how he performs, and now he has an opportunity to shine in Chicago. And the question for just a casual fan is, why not us? Why couldn't that have been the Atlanta Falcons had they had the opportunity and taken the opportunity to choose Justin?
Go ahead, Willis. I know you were about to say something.
You know, yeah, a lot of people like me, I've been a Falcon fan since Big Love. So bringing in Justin Fields, you're gonna bring. I'm telling you, you would bring. If he would have came back, I promise you, I would have been right there.
And let's speak
You would have
on
brought me back.
let's speak on one thing what you say about that. And listen, we're not gonna sit here and pretend we're some 10 black men in the room.
But
Michael Vick, even in his average years, still had that crowd energized in the game. Whatever. Personal stuff notwithstanding it, but it's the ability for you never knew what was going to happen with Mike Vick. And for fans, I would rather be kept in my seat than knowing Matt Ryan, yeah, he gonna give me 400 yards, but is it gonna win me a game? It's not exciting.
Michael Vick is
1, 2,
here.
3,
They had a whole
drop
Nike thing about it.
Right.
You don't let somebody be chasing the OG.
You know how when you're at the game and Mike Vick goes back and you see him take that first step and 30,000 people stand up and you don't know what's gonna happen. That's what they're doing in Kansas City. That's what they're doing in Buffalo. That's what they still doing in Green Bay if Aaron Rodgers come back.
Right.
The ability to stretch the play.
Right.
No disrespect to number 2 in his 9 years of 44,000 yards, but when you're able to stretch the field, it's exciting. It's something, Joe, as long as we've been here in Atlanta, you have been talking about games since you and I have been in high school. How many times have you had that excitement since Vic has been here?
Not too often, other than when Michael Turner was running the ball.
Yeah.
What's his one name?
Yeah. Oh, I tell you, I told you, I'll go there too. But yeah, I mean, so we're looking for a change. And when this new regime came in, I thought for sure we'd have some type of change. Mike, you know about sorry teams, and it's how you root for New York. What do you think? What do you think the Falcons need to do now that the Julio thing is gone? You know, we're all over that now. What is the key to the Falcons winning games in 2021? That's not that.
not a
Pull a
trap.
rabbit.
That's a
Pull
trap.
a rabbit. I have no idea, Steve. I have no idea.
Let's start AJ McCarron.
No, don't do that. So let me let's play quick survey one more time. We played 17 games this year. I'm gonna go around the room real quick. Now let me go around the room. I'll say the number of wins. I'm gonna say a number of wins, and you tell me whether you think that's how many the Falcons will win. 17 games. Do you think the Falcons will win 10 games? Okay, I can do it. Do you think Falcons can win? Yeah. Do you think the Falcons can win 11 games? Nope. Okay, so
You should have said 10 or more.
I said, okay, there we go. Let's do that. Do you think the Falcons can win 10 or more games? I got one vote already.
Could or will?
10. Do you think they can win 10 or more games?
It depends on what team they put on the field.
Now, the Falcons have the third easiest schedule in the NFL. Now, of course, that's based off last year. We played a horrific NFC East with Dallas, Philadelphia, Washington, and who's the other team in the East? Giants. So we play all those teams. And we play the fourth place team in each division this year. So we have the third easiest schedule this year. Do you think we can win between 7 and 9 games? Anybody?
That's possible.
I'm going 7 and 9.
That's
There's
realistic.
a lot of optimism.
No.
That's a little bit lower.
The only thing I see, I think the biggest thing for the Falcons this year, and well, it's two things. And it's two people that's more important to them. The defensive coordinator, Dean Pease, has to come in here and change whatever the Falcons have been doing. We haven't had a pass rush in probably since my kids were born in this city. And then when you look on the other side, we haven't had a real running game since the Coleman-Freeman combination here. When you run the ball, your quarterback doesn't have to throw for 4,000 yards.
Right.
You can balance your team. Look at the team that Julio went to. This is why Julio is probably going to have a better chance to win. They have Derrick Henry, who's running for 2,000 plus yards a year. With Julio Jones on that team, they're probably not going to have to do that this year.
Right.
The play action becomes crucial because what are you going to do? Not pay attention to Derrick Henry? And now you got A.J. Brown on one side and Julio on that side? The Falcons are in dire need of a running game. And bless the young man who came down here, Mike Davis, bless his heart, Stevenson High School. Glad he got an opportunity to play, but I'm not sure he is the guy who is going to lead us to the next level as far as the Falcons is concerned. So that's why I go on the lower end of 7 to 8 wins this year, because until they establish a running game, I'm not sure that's the team. I know all of us aren't Atlanta fans. Tell me the one team this year in the NFL that you guys look at and say, oh, that's the next best team. We eliminate Kansas City, Buffalo, and Tampa Bay. Name a team that you say that's going to be the out-of-the-box team this year. Devon, who's that team that, aside of those three?
I would have to go with
All right.
Thank you for joining us in the,
Don't even go there, man. Be quiet. I ain't want to hear. Mike,
says the person that comes in with the HVAC shirt on. Who do you look at as a surprise team coming out this year in the NFL?
Baltimore's not really a surprise. I think they may be one piece away from getting over their hump. But I would have to go with Tennessee with the addition of Julio Jones and, like you said, Derrick Henry, and then you got A.J. Brown on one side. There's not enough people on the field to cover them.
That's actually a good call there. Chi-Town, who's your surprise team you think in the NFL this year?
I like Tennessee. I like that idea. Also.
That's not bad. Mike, since you root for a loser, who do you think who's your shot team?
It's hard to say somebody else other than Tennessee.
Yeah, that's good. Willis, any chance you changing that answer?
Oh, yeah, you already know I'm going with black quarterback.
Yeah.
I'm going with Phoenix. I'm going with Phoenix.
Okay.
I hope Chicago does something. I really want Justin Fields to do well. But I'm going with Phoenix. Hopefully they'll make that jump.
I think that's a team, people forgot they got J.J. Watt and somebody else came over there this year. But that's a team, that's a tough division though. The NFC West, Seattle, Rams, that's tough. San Francisco, and that's tough. Joe, who's your surprise team?
I like Seattle.
Seattle is a team, honestly, if I look at them right now, I look at Seattle not to make the playoffs. I think if you look at that NFC West, you have the Rams who have a real quarterback now with the same solid defense they had. You had Arizona, who probably they were a step from making the playoffs last year, and they didn't. San Francisco is going to be that team to me because everybody comes back. All those guys, Killer got hurt. The other receiver, Samuel got hurt. Running back got hurt. Everybody is coming back. Bosa got hurt. All those guys come back. Seattle is the odd team out. That's probably why Russell Wilson wasn't that happy this year, because if he looks around him skill-wise, who else is on that team aside of 1 year Metcalf that you've seen something happen?
But in San Francisco, you go with Jimmy G, or you
That's why you draft again. Going back to the Falcons, you're a brand new coach. You're an offensive coach. If you have the opportunity to bring in, if you got this team, you got the keys to the Atlanta Falcons, right? You have a 13-year vet whose last 3 years was 79, 4-12. And you're looking at the top quarterbacks in the NFL in the draft. And I see Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, and Justin Fields. I have a new job. I can bring in a quarterback that I can teach from scratch, that I can get to run my system. And your decision is to go with the same guy who's been orchestrating the losing seasons in 3 years. So that's why I like what Frisco said. Frisco said, I know Jimmy G took us to the Super Bowl a couple of years ago, but guess what? I'm going to make that change because I know my team can be better. I'm not looking at, well, he's loyal, he's 4,000 years. I'm not looking at that. You look for what can improve you. Who's your surprise team?
Well, not really surprised. My team was San Francisco.
San Francisco, yeah. I mean, and I give the guy Lynch, I give him a lot of credit. Because a lot of people say, you just signed Garoppolo to a contract. But you know what? He's not the quarterback. He's not the right guy.
Trey Lance might not miss that pass over
the
middle of the field, too.
That's my point. So I'm trying to improve my team. I'm not trying to make friends. I'm not trying to come here and make friends. I'm trying to come here and improve my team. So, yeah, it has yet to be seen with the Falcons, but I love what they did with Frisco.
San Francisco has that's what you were talking about before. They got that killer defense, and I think that's what you need. You need an offensive line, killer defense, so you can run the ball and do both. That's how Baltimore won their Super Bowls. When Denver won, when old boy was washed up.
Terrell Davis.
Manning was washed up. He was just a manager. So you can do it with Garoppolo. You can let him. If your defense is hit. What hurt San Francisco last year was that everybody got hurt. Everybody got hurt. But that defense is killer.
Our owner, he'd be like, well, Matt Ryan, he's gonna be a Falcon for
Yeah, see, but again, that sounds good coming off a Super Bowl year. That sounds good coming off 4-12. 4-12. You have to convince folks that's already paying an extra X amount of dollars for a stupid PSL and pay a ticket. You have to convince us that you're trying to improve the team. But your basis is I'm going to keep the same guy who hasn't won since 2017. Yeah. You see what the Rams did? Golf was in the playoffs last year. Golf won a game in the playoffs last year. And you know what the Rams said? The Rams said next I give the Rams credit, I give Frisco credit, because they're saying we don't need to coddle these cats and make them think whatever. I go back to Julio, I'm sorry for taking over a little bit. The Julio thing. How many times have we seen Julio on first down? He go in, come out, come out, and then he stay over there 3 plays, go back in. How many times during the week you look on the injury report? Who's not playing? Who's not practicing? Julio not practicing Wednesday, not practicing Thursday, show up on Friday. And everybody else out there busting behind, including the overrated Matt Ryan, out there going to practice. So, yeah, those are things that I just say, yeah, you gotta have somebody that comes in here and stirs things up. So I love what Frisco and Rams are doing. Brother Henry, who do you think
I
is
take the Hawks, man. I did that question right now. I take the Hawks. Man, I don't know, man, because I really ain't been into the football thing, because I don't even, I asked you that, we've been the preseason games on, but I don't know what.
Kids, this is your brain on drugs. Big dog in the back, George. Who's your team that you look at?
I'll call the Rams.
Rams. That's actually Matt Stafford. I'm trying to tell you, I'm not saying that they're a Super Bowl team, but think about it. That defense was ready for better last year. You improved your quarterback position greatly with Stafford. Stafford with his defense, that's at least who in NFC other than Tampa is going to be better than that in NFC.
But see, the only thing with Matt Stafford, he was a decent guy on a really bad team. So you don't really have that expectation on you playing with Detroit. There's a certain mental aspect that comes with, it's Super Bowl or bust. We got you to go to the Super Bowl. If things start to go a little off in the locker room, that mental aspect is going to be a lot different than playing in Detroit.
Sure, because Detroit is used to losing.
Because Detroit's used to losing. So
Right.
we start losing,
Yeah.
it's going to be a different thing.
Man, who's your surprise team that you say coming out of it?
Man, it's hard to pick between San Francisco, Seattle, and the Rams. So West Coast is coming out killing.
Yeah. I think all 3 of those teams have a good chance. Again, I don't know for some reason, and because I think Russell is all of that. Seattle does nothing if Russell Wilson isn't at quarterback. I think Russell Wilson stirs the pot. If you look, since the Legion of Boom has dissipated, keep it real. We scored almost 35 points on them last year in a loss. The Rams slapped them around last year. Russell needs help. He doesn't have a running game. He doesn't have a similar. He just got Bobby Wagner in the defense, and he doesn't have any other help. So I just look at that as, I think that's a lot to overcome in an improving Frisco, improving Rams, and an improving Arizona. I think that might have been why Russell was trying to get out of there. I was hoping he was going to say he wanted to come home to Atlanta.
He's still with Seattle.
He's still with Seattle right now.
I heard someone that said Russell Williams, I didn't know he was going to leave or what.
That's what they were talking about.
Anyway, I just want to say, that being said, I'm still hoping the Falcons, stir the pot.
Oh, listen, 80% of this room hopes for the Falcons to win. Let me make that clear. Let me make that clear. 70% of the room wants to make that clear. All right, so last question I'm going to ask, and I appreciate all you gentlemen taking the time to come join us here on the Uncle Steve's Lounge here on YouTube. Thank you very much for joining today. Right now, if you right now had a choice between Atlanta making the playoffs or the Hawks winning the NBA title, which way are you gonna lean towards?
The Hawks is right now. They're right now.
Okay, and the reason why I pose that question because I know a lot of people right now with the Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks are the young team, and there were not a lot of expectations this year. Keep it real.
Right.
They were not. But now we're here.
Yep.
And as I was telling, I think, who was I talking to? I mean, me and Tony were talking about that. Just like with the Falcons, they were young when they made the Super Bowl. So the thought was, oh, they'll be back. They'll be back, and they haven't. So I say right now, as a sports fan, and you pretend if you don't like either one, from an Atlanta standpoint, what would satisfy you more this year? The Hawks going on to the NBA Finals, or the Falcons making playoffs?
For me, it would be the Hawks going to the finals because we've gotten to this point with we don't have not one defensive all NBA defensive player, not one NBA all player, no superstar, no all stars this year, but no quote unquote all stars this year, really. So we did all this where we are now with no expectations whatsoever. So this proves that we can play with the LeBrons and the Phoenixes and all these other teams that's doing well. So for me, it'll be the Hawks all day. If the Falcons, if we do good this year, I mean we can't do well. We could do worse. We could do worse, but hey,
2-15.
yeah.
What you think about?
I'll go with the Hawks as well. Again, there's a lot of optimism for you Falcons fans. I don't see it. But the Hawks, the Hawks is definitely energized the city with the run they're making. Again, I still think they're maybe one piece from getting over that hump. I honestly think they need a bona fide center.
Yep.
Clint Capella is a decent player, but he's not getting it done on the defensive end or on the offensive end most nights. So I'll go with the Hawks.
Shot down.
Hawks also. As I sit on this red and black sofa, they're not it. Hawks. They're happening right now.
Rod, who you got?
I'm gonna go with the Hawks, and because they're almost like in an underdog type role. I mean, like Tony said, they don't really have a superstar. I mean, you got Trey Young, but what else you have for the uninformed fan like myself, for the casual fan, whose name on the Hawks do you hear besides Trey Young?
Right.
And so they're trying to do something special around that one kid. I think it brings a lot of excitement to the city. To a certain extent, I think people are kind of, no disrespect to the house, but I think people are kind of over the Falcons right now. And they're frustrated with the Falcons right now. So if they can pull for another Atlanta team, the Hawks will be it.
That's fair.
Atlanta United.
And one of my major sports. Who you got, Mike?
I'm going to go the other direction. I'm going to go with the Falcons. I think, considering all the changes that y'all made with the offseason, we just talked about it. A lot of y'all don't expect them to do anything. So if they actually did something, that would mean more. I think Atlanta is more of a football city. So, if y'all have success on the football field, then y'all appreciate that more than what the Hawks can do.
What you have with?
Well, I'm going with the Hawks, of course. I mean, I think this is, I can remember back in the day where, one of the big why I stick with the quarterbacks and everything, being Juneteenth and everything, and we weren't intelligent enough to play quarterback, and we definitely weren't intelligent enough to have a head coach, and so to have a head coach in Atlanta go to the finals, it would be exceptional. Also, I don't think that the Hawks will catch too many people by surprise anymore. So if they're going to do it, they're going to have to do it now because people are going to be ready for them next year.
True. What you got, Joe?
Well, all Atlanta sports teams, so I really want to jump on into the Braves, but we'll stick with Falcons and Hawks. The Hawks have done a good job energizing the city, as has already been stated, with no expectations. Even the NBA wasn't expecting them to be where they are right now. And so, who did we beat the first round? I forgot.
New York.
Yeah, we knocked out the Knicks. And
Quietest man at work.
And to give Philadelphia a run like we're doing right now, being undersized, if you will, in terms of, because Philadelphia's big man, I posted on Facebook, that's all he does, is just wallow on the floor. Every shot he takes, where he fade away, he fall out, he expect to foul, even when he's not even touched. The biggest thing on the court, and he's always flopping. So, I think we can take him tomorrow night. Just have to, as I stated earlier, take the ball to the hole and just go to work.
All right, great job. Brother Henry, who you got?
Time I told you I'll take the Hawks. But this new coach we got for the Falcons, he need to take the Falcons and put everybody in their right position. They need a recondition job. They call them. They go when they draft. To me, they always draft some wide receivers and stuff instead of like drafting guys for be on the line instead of some big men to be on the line to help protect the quarterback. That's what they really need.
But you're protecting the quarterback. That's
Well,
already.
How Tom Brady be protecting against that football and stuff. They need stuff like that because the wide receivers, they got wide receivers, but they just be dressing up a little bit for it. Just put it like that.
All right. What you got, George? Who you got?
I think the Hawks will go all the way this year. Something about it, they don't have no, to me, they don't have no superstars, but they got some good ball players. So I'm picking the Hawks.
Dark horse.
Man, what you got?
Between I'll say the Hawks and Falcons, but if I had to pick one, I'll go ahead and pick the Hawks because this is their time.
Yeah.
I like the fact that he pumps up over his home team. Brother Johnny, nice to join us. We are having a live online discussion about Atlanta sports, and we appreciate your point of view. Right now, we are discussing who would you rather have, knowing that you're the huge Atlanta sports fan that you are. What would you rather see? The Atlanta Hawks get to the NBA Finals this year, or the Atlanta Falcons make the playoffs?
I'm glad you said we was live. BJ, well, I'm going to have to go with the Hawks. I'm a basketball fan, football fan too, but I think Hawks, they're due for a run for the championship. I don't know. We're gonna get all the way there, but they do for a run.
So we saw a consensus of the Atlanta Hawks in this, and it sets out. I'll take the last word on this. I do like the way that the Hawks are positioned. They're playing with house money, folks. Mm-hmm. There's not a soul that thought not only that they possibly could make the playoffs as a number 5 seed, but there was nobody that thought they were going to get out of the New York series with the wonderful, fabulous Julius Randle leading the way. How much did he average the game out? Okay. But and the points being made about the Hawks right now, look, there's nothing to lose. If you win this series against Philadelphia, I'll take us against Brooklyn or Milwaukee. When this team shoots, you're feast or famine. There are times that they're shooting 60% and killing you, but then there are other times they shoot like jump for 3 quarters and then light you up in the 4th quarter. I like the Hawks as constructed. The only reason I'm going to pick the Atlanta Falcons is, Willis touched on it and somebody else said something. This city and honestly this state, because of college football, this is football country. When you're successful in this city/state, you are huge. Thinking about the Atlanta Falcons Super Bowl run that they made in 2016, the off year that Matt Ryan won the MVP. Think about the excitement in that stadium. I know you went to a game with me that year during the season too. Did you ever feel the shaking and excitement that it was in that Georgia Dome than when we were losing? I mean, with a winning team, a winning football team, just brings that extra energy to me. And I say with the Atlanta Falcons, because the expectation now, since we got rid of number 11, the expectation is so little that I think a playoff win could possibly bring some energy back to this state, to this city. Think about the same thing, Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia Bulldogs, the year they went to the national championship, they were arguably bigger than the Falcons were, that Super Bowl down here. So football, because you have so many fewer games, you only got what? Football, you got about 13, 14. NFL, you got 16 games, now 17 games to prove yourself. So I say the Atlanta Falcons would be a much bigger accomplishment, with no disrespect to the Hawks, because I'm rooting for the Hawks 100% to take this thing against Philly. I want to thank everybody for watching us tonight. Thank the panel. Give y'all some hands. Appreciate y'all helping out. For the two late entries, we appreciate them coming. He didn't offer anything. He was all right. Everybody out there, don't forget about what today is, folks. Juneteenth. We appreciate them signing this in the federal holiday yesterday. But go do your homework.
Let's build on that.
Yeah, let's keep that energy rolling. It's not about just getting an off day. It's about recognizing our culture and recognizing the beginnings of where we started. And happy Father's Day to all the fathers here and all the fathers out there. We appreciate y'all here. Thank you very much. Y'all enjoy your day.